Okay, let's say that I want to do this fast exponentiation with high powers, and I want a way to do this where I don't have to keep doing it over and over and over for every single power that I want to do. So I can set up my values. So in other words, let me just say what I'm doing is I might want to set something up like 768 to the 101 power, and then mod 2701. And in this, I need to set up my powers. And so to do this, I start with my 768, which is my M, my N, which is my power, and then my mod 2701. Now, how you find R is these are based on 2 to a particular power, and you have to make sure that you are staying between the 101, my exponent. So I think if I did 2 to the 6th power, which would be 64, and this is always 2 to the power plus 1. So in this case, just doing less than, not less than, or equal to, and then to the 7th is 128. So whatever this is where I should be stopping. And if you need to go further, certainly you can go past 64, but this is where the one that I'm working on, I would need to stop. And so I plug in the 64 right there. I'm going to use this for something in another video or another example, but I don't really need that. So all I want to do here is I want to get this 768, and I'm going to absolute reference it so I can copy it straight down. So I copy this straight down, and then my P is my mod, and I want to be able to copy that straight down, so I absolute reference it. And now here I want to find my powers, and you might say, well, what's the big deal? I can easily do equals, if I can type mod. Okay, so the first one I'm doing mod my 768, comma, or to the 2nd power, comma, 2701. Okay, so that's my first one that I want to do is that power, and I hit enter, and that's fine. And then I can do my next one. In fact, I could just copy this. So I'm going to copy this straight down so you can see what's happening. So the 1862 worked. In other words, my 768 to the 4th power, but now these numbers are just getting too big, so I need another way to do these. Well, if you remember in math, I know I hate to bring back bad memories, right? If you remember in math, I can actually write a power with the outside. So let's say that I had 768, and as you see on my next one here, I want to do that to the 8th power. Well, if you remember, I could write that as 768 to the 4th power squared. Because remember, when with exponents, if it's on the outside of a parentheses, I would actually multiply. So to do that, then just completely looking at that, I could do my mod. My 768 to the 4th power, notice, was that one. And then I square it, and then comma my 2701 again, and close my parentheses. And now from here, in fact, instead of looking at this, the previous value, if I copy this straight down, what is happening now is it's taking the previous one squared. So that would be the same thing. If I'm looking at to the 16th power, then I would have my 8th power times all to the 2nd power. And then the same thing here. If I want to the 32 power, I could simply take the one above, the 16, and then square that. And so it allows me a very quick formula here. I mean, there's a lot more that I'm going to need to do with something like this, but it allows me very quickly now, if I have other problems that I want to do this fast, exponentiation, all I have to do is simply change these values and it will give me these numbers right away. So it's kind of nice. A lot of these steps are manual, but at least this is one step that I can now come back to, and I can say, well, if I take some other example, and let's say that I wanted to do this fast exponentiation, and I wanted to do it with 34 raised to the 49th power mod 73, and in this case, let me just kind of get rid of this so you can see. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So you can see what I'm actually computing. What I'm computing here is I want to find 34 to the 49th power. You hear my mouse clicking? I was too lazy to get my pencil to write. Mod 73. And so it allows me very, very quickly to get these values, which I'm going to need coming up in another step. But in this case, why am I saying that I would stop at 32? Well, again, what you're looking at is you're looking at this power right here. And so I want something, my powers between 2 to the 5th power is certainly going to be less than this 49 and 2 to the 5 plus 1, 6 power. So my 32 is less than my 49, which is less than my 64. So in this case, this would be my value of interest. So again, it's just a very quick way to do the modular exponentiation. So now you can change these numbers right here based on your problem and at least come up with that column.